saw some of this coming. But we're going to go ahead and get this started right now. And we want to thank you all for coming out here. I know y'all have a lot to say out here too. We're going to give you your chance. But first, let's go ahead and start it off with Fernando here.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever been or seen a roast before, but it's basically, you can make fun of him if you want. I wish you would. Or just like a story of growing up with him, you know, anything, trust me, we'll laugh at it anyways. I mean, look at it. I just want to know a little bit about Ed. He's the oldest brother of 3 and 5 girls. He's also one of the girls. You know, he's my older brother, so I spend a lot of time looking down at him. Really, since 2 years old, I was taller than him. So, you know, it wasn't that hard. I looked up to him. You know, he's a straightforward guy. Yeah, he's a great guy when he's asleep, you know. So. You all know him. You know. But I got a good surprise for him. He's not aware of, and I hope you all join in with this fun. And I'm about to show you right now. If you can't hear me, pull your head out of your.
And he puts that politely. Just remember that. He is trying to be nice about it. Any last words? No.
All right.
You're going to need to get up. Hold on, we'll help you.
All right. Never want you to have any accidents. Okay?
Yeah, this is still a new chair. We kind of want to keep it clean for a little while.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can get a close up on this, but we want to make sure you have the proper attire here.
He has the exact same outfit at home.
Hold your package there.
No, your package.
Hold on. That's right. Old man head.
Come on. Show it proud, because you're not going to remember it tomorrow.
Hold on.
Put the walker up. We got to get this whole thing up.
Hold on. All right, here we go.
Ring your bell or your siren.
I'll tell you how to do your job.
Yeah, right there.
I'm going to take one more,
You don't get this till the end. You don't get the mic till the end.
He'll forget. Give it to him.
It's not younger.
Watch out, there's food on the right.
There you go. Get the turn signal going. Oh, hold on. Let me get out the camera here.
I'm old.
Arnold.
Of course, I'm an old person. My blinker's still going.
Once again, we will be broadcasting this. We are broadcasting live right now. And also, this is going on YouTube right after this. So, like I said, if you want to point out what Ed went wrong, here's the start.
That was easy.
Oh my God.
Is there anybody here that worked as a...
Oh, it doesn't know at this point.
Oh my God.
John, did they get this from you?
That looks like Tom right there.
this is gonna be the whole night, right?
I don't even, yeah, we don't need a mic anymore. This is good enough.
Run home back up there, Eddie.
Okay, so I'm just the host. I'm gonna leave it to everybody else to come up here. So you're more than welcome. I'm gonna start with my brother Carlos first, and then we'll go from there. Anybody? Look
in the rearview mirror.
Sorry.
All right, you know what?
He's the cop to be the boss.
I am the youngest of the 8 here, and no, I'm not one of the sisters. But, you know, Ed, you know, since I was born long after you, let's go back in time, a long time ago, and a time far, far away. You probably hear that Star Wars thing playing right now. I looked on the internet right now just to find out what happened when you were born, and here's the result of what I found. On November 10th, 19 dirt. Okay, the price of gas was not invented yet, so the transportation was a horse and buggy. And then again, you know, I looked up, you know, even the price of bread, you know, still once again was not invented. But, you know, I heard that there was some guy named Jesus, he was passing it out around with some fish. He sounds so generous. Your friend Methuselah? He couldn't make it because of old age. He had a little problem with that. Yeah, he didn't make it to this time either. You outlasted him. Back to what happened when you were born, though. The Flintstones was not a cartoon show, it was a reality show. You know, I heard that you actually took Laura Ingalls to the prom.
She was hot.
And you know, Little House on the Prairie was your actual address. You know, all I can think is, you know, it must be difficult, you know, trying to count all the years because it's really hard to count back in Roman numerals. And you know, I understand you can't print your birth certificate anymore because the recorder doesn't carry stone and chisel on hand. And when it comes to siblings, you're right up there. You know, you only got one person beating you right now, and she's willing to share her oxygen with you. But you know, I think about this. Honestly, when I thought I had the opportunity to get up in front of everyone and make fun of you, I had realized the immense task I had ahead of me, because I had to narrow it down to the most recent events. Damn, that was hard. But first, all I could think of was your obsession with helicopters. You know, they have the cameras on them. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you got your helicopter, you can view yourself flying the helicopters, till I realized you were just spying on your children. Talk about, I know what you did last summer. Oh my gosh. And then, let's see. You know, like I said, you're one of 8 kids, and I'm the youngest. I'm the favorite. I'll keep pointing that out every time, too.
You're the baby.
Obviously, our parents were either planning a sports team or a lawn care service. But, you know, they got the latter of that with the 3 boys. Yeah. But we've also heard, you know, the guy with the flashy car is obviously compensating for something. Well, let's see. You've got off-road vehicles. Not just one, but multiple off-road vehicles. You had boats, jet skis, a little red truck. What are you hiding? Seriously, this is just the start of what I probably have to say tonight. But I'm still gonna, you know, cut it off right here so I can give someone else a chance to really ridicule you. Lighter than I did. All right, hold on. Before I even step off, I think I gotta give him a little bit. I gotta get for him. All right. Oh yeah, this'll work. Oh, it goes. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. Let's get you your Depends here.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm not helping with that one.
Fernando, hold my mic.
I've carried
Watch
it
the
too long.
junk. Watch the junk. The pen is
if anybody wants to check later on, about an hour, if you had carne asada or pastor or chicken, you guys come and check it out.
It was not too.
And then let's get the pin going here.
No, that somebody was replying to this.
Watch out for the package.
That's all right. I missed completely.
Yeah, it was in my shoe.
We're not talking about the aftermath. Shake it, man. Shake it. But put it away now. Put it away now.
I also got a little present to add to what we have already. Here you go, right there. That was the first tree ever born.
He remembers. He remembers.
Okay, if anybody would like to come up and, just share a story about my brother, you're more than welcome. And I'm actually going to call somebody.
Yeah.
And that would be... We want to hear when you met. Okay, come on. Everybody.
Take a seat. We got this covered right now. Come on, sis.
I need
Anything you want. You know what you want to say.
You don't have to go on.
You know what you want to say. Just don't hold back. This is the time where you actually get to let out your frustrations as he's been pissing you off for this. I'll walk away.
Be best.
She just whispered to me. She says, I remember that's what he looked like when I met him.
Well, happy birthday, Ed.
It's not a cop-out. She just knows that everyone else is going to have the same problem.
Well, she doesn't realize.
He wants his
She gets to
Victoria's
see this
Secret.
in about another 2 years.
Back it up. Back it up.
Okay, so Tom, I want you to come in the limelight right here and
By all means.
share some stories about Ed right here. Just let us know about you guys growing up. Come on, Tom.
Give it up for Tom!
Let's get this started.
Come on, Tommy!
First off, you get to pick something out of the bag right here.
Pick something out of the bag.
That's your best friend, is your best man.
Beso, beso.
Oh my God.
No, just having
He's all like, what?
Okay, we got some Ensure. He usually drinks that with vodka every night before sleep. So, here's Tom.
Cocktail.
By the way, we are getting Skype from Mexico as well. Hey sis, how you doing?
Hey, Martha. Well, I've known Eddie.
But we have Skype.
I hate to say it, I'm actually a little bit older than Eddie, but I've known him for
A little bit?
30 some odd years now, and I have a lot of stories with Eddie, but one of the ones I remember the most is we were up at the Grand Canyon one time, and I was carrying my son Noah at the time. What?
That's better.
I don't want to get higher. And we were going into a restaurant, and Eddie decided to jump into my other arm. So I carried him into the restaurant that way. And when we walked in, the host goes, okay, how many kids? I'm like, 4. And I was going to put him in a high chair, but he squirmed out of it. Years ago when Eddie and I used to, whoops, you're dropping all your stuff, Eddie. Years ago when Eddie and I used to bounce in a bar, we used to say, Eddie bounced in a bar? Yeah, he was actually a really good bouncer, because whenever a fight broke out, I would grab him by his ankles and you would grab him. As far as that goes, he did a great job. On that note, I'm done. I'm gonna let somebody else have the floor.
Thanks a lot, Tom. You did great. You did great.
I made
All right, if you want me to call you up, you better come up. So Greg, come on, Greg.
Come on, there's plenty of people that know plenty of stories about him. We just want to know all the dirt. That's it.
You know what?
We don't want the clean stuff. We want the dirt.
All right, this is his friend Greg. Greg, all right. Now it's your turn. All right, let's see. Oh, there. Yeah. Make sure everybody sees this.
Where you ready?
Hemorrhoidal
Way too long. Way too long.
Hold on, man. Let me see that. All right, here we go.
Oh, you need more than my knife. You need a putty knife.
Well, I've known Eddie since I think his first grade elementary school. I was just a baby, but he was like 6, 7 years old. So, but the story that comes to my mind is Eddie's bachelor party.
She was there.
She had the same disguise on.
But I don't think Eddie ever drank before that time.
Like that.
But he wanted to have a few of the spirits there, and
I took all the spirits.
he emptied a couple bottles and didn't quite feel so good towards the end part, and decided to munch on a toilet or two. 1 week before the wedding, so he had a missing tooth. He like
That's where the
you know
movie
you're a
Hangover
redneck
came
when you
from.
got a missing tooth.
All enhanced.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Eddie.
Yeah, that's where the movie Hangover came from. Yeah, you know what? To this day, I still regret that night. It was his bastard party. Oh my God!
And just letting you know, Ed's already gone through preparations A through G. They invented H for him.
We wanted to show some videos and pictures of Ed, but they didn't have cameras when he was.
We couldn't bring the cave drawings.
It's all sketches. It's all, they burn in the fire. Okay, now I'm going to start going through the systems here. So be prepared. RC, you better get that big screen to someone else.
Yeah, we can't have you Skyping anymore. Come on, sis. You got plenty to say.
All lies. Lies.
Oh, there you go. Some dishes you're cleaning.
There.
That's right. All right. That was easy.
Yeah. All I know, when we were growing up, he would always make me iron his pants. The bad thing is, they were my pants. My ones, they were my painter pants.
Your dittos?
And I had to fight for the dittos.
Back then, Annie.
we had some good times. And then, whenever we wanted to ride to school, he would not give us a ride. I'm not going to have you in my car, as if we were like something bad. You're my sister. And we would try to tell. Oh yeah. And then, in class, if a boy even looked at me, Ed would give them this look, and I couldn't understand why all of a sudden boys didn't want to sit next to me. This is the time in high school where, well, even now, most grades shared classes or whatever, and we just happened to have had a class together. That class, no boy would sit next to me. None.
That was jealousy, aren't you?
Ed had the look. Yeah, I think they wanted him. It was all about the saddleback.
Time's up.
We got control here, boy.
Are we? I wanted to keep that one in there, didn't you? Yeah, and I had to come home and tell my mom, can you tell him to stay away from me? He's killing my social life. Yeah, my mother had to tell him, stay away from her, because, yeah, he had a look. And I didn't know until months later, where guys would tell me, your brother has a look. But he took care of us. Yeah, they wanted you. I'm telling you, it was all about the saddleback, the way you wore it. But happy birthday. Love you.
Hold on. You gotta represent those genders, man.
Smile, Eddie.
Yeah, there you go. You won't be hungry tonight.
Hey, I'm remembering right now, I heard that Ed had a thing for the school marm when he was growing up. Problem was he was homeschooled.
Wow, Carlos.
I love you, bro. I love you.
Or see, I feel bad for her. She said, she didn't get much attention. She thought it was dead. The crooked eye and the tooth in the back of your neck didn't help either.
Hey, leave my eyes alone.
It's the tooth you have a problem with, right?
Yeah.
All right, Susanna, I know you got something up there.
Come on. You've been thinking about it all night.
Look at
The gloves come on.
Wait a minute. Stretch while you come
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you reach into the bag. You're going to get something out there.
I'm gonna reach in my diaper.
Oh my God. This ain't right.
Because he needs this Bengay, old as he is.
His joints are just aching.
See, like seniors, I know they like go see now, and then do things like, going the other way, but I guess he's starting that first. Okay, go.
I don't even recognize you. Well, growing up with Ed, as you hear, well, I didn't have to find it for camp. But, Ed was like the super take care of his sisters. Because one day we happened to, all those kids happened to be at home, and I don't know where my parents were, but we were sitting ourselves, and Maria and Ed were in charge.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Right.
Say no more.
Well, we had, listen, we rarely had days that we were by ourselves, and as kids do, we heard all sorts of noises. Next thing we know, we're in our room, got the door barricaded shut, because now we're sure somebody's in the other room. So Ed takes this motorhome that they have, that was made of metal back then, for the G.I. Joes and stuff, and he slams it against the bedroom door, because we were going to get these guys to be scared. So Edward was trying to scare whoever imaginary friend was on the other side of that. But, he was thinking of us, maybe not so much of the door or that toy that he had to destroy, but yeah, thank you, Ed, for protecting us. Equally, as we're growing up, he was very loving brother, totally loving. He would sit with us on the couch, watch television with us. I'd be on one side, shooting at the other, commercial came. Bam! He jumps to the side and punches me in the arm. That's the kind of loving brother he was.
That's why I got the pie in the face.
It's super special because now what I have to deal with is that he has this special relationship with my husband that I have to keep him away from. So
The pants? The husband?
Wow.
he is my husband. I don't know. There are issues here that.
That's where the 10G comes in.
We all know what's going through your mind, and
Nothing.
exactly. Blank space. This space is available.
You know, I got a few, I remember growing up, sometimes me and Ed didn't really see eye to eye, you know, and
he was
we would fight a lot. We would fight a lot, you know. I mean, it'd be him trying to throw something at me, and I'd just hold my hand up. But, you know, either way he tried. No, but we got in some pretty heated arguments, and there was one point we didn't talk for almost a year. Well, we didn't really get along that great for at least a year. And out of the blue, he asked me to be his best man. And there was silence in that whole room. Nobody could believe it because Tom was his best friend, and we're all looking, you know, we're even asking, why don't you ask Tom? Why don't you? And everybody's like, is there something wrong with you? I said, Fernando.
Fernando, you did. I said no. Huh? You did. I said no. No, just
And then I get to find out there was a list, another list. You know, I mean, I don't know how many phone calls they had to get to. Hey, I was still the best man. Dang good bastard party at that too. Fernie, you have any kind words for my brother?
Shut the hell up!
Come on up.
Oh, yeah. That's all I got left for you. To cure his aging bones.
well, if you need help falling asleep.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think this is good.
Oh my God.
There you go. And another mirror.
I guess he really did have something to add to it, didn't he?
Well, at least they were thinking of my safety.
A cane for each hand because we knew you were wobbly.
Car crash.
You can never keep it on.
Newborn dog.
Well, this one time in band camp.
What type of band camp?
Well, the one thing I can remember is Ed and Paul used to hang out a lot. And our good friend Paul lived down the street. And him and Ed were walking down our street one day, and he had a wheelchair. And the wheelchair was like, one of the wheels was bombing big time. Hey Ed, what happened? Well, you remember this hill we were going up on? We used to call it Jungle Hill. Well, Speedy over here and Mr. Safety decided that they wanted to get to the park a lot faster. So I said, let's get to the top of the hill. And then once we're on the top of the hill, they both jumped on a wheelchair. Right about the bottom, we said they clipped one of the big wood barriers that holds the rail. Man, all this how they made it back up the hill, I can't know.
You know, I beat Paul by about 3 feet. No lie. I fly great, but the sudden stops and kills them.
These guys were great. My sister and I came from East LA, and when we moved here, a family of 8 kind of adopted us as well. They already had Fernando, and then my sister's name was Maria, so they had that already. So we just became another one of the group. So.
Fernando squared, Maria squared.
Brother, happy birthday.
All right, bro.
Now, we always used to go to their house. My sister Maria was his age, Fernando's age, and I was Maria's age, and we went to school together. And we'd always go to the house. Can Maria and Fernando come out and play? You know, and they not only had just them two, they had 8 other kids to deal with at the time, switching back and forth. But it was great. I mean, we're family. That's family right there.
Yep.
So anybody that feels brave enough to come up here, you know, you're more than welcome to add to this. Don't be shy, you know, we're not making fun of him. But you're more than welcome to come up here. Anybody want to add to this?
I actually found a recording of what it sounded like when we were going to dinner, though. This is a special occasion right now here. Come on, Theo, let's see what you got.
You know, now I really look like him.
He'd always wanted to be close to me all the time, and he'd always be, you know, and one day he followed me up to the garage, and I never let anybody in my garage.
Put the mic in your mouth.
And I had,
So now you get to start all over.
well, no, it's all right. Anyways, I had a bunch of models that I spent a lot of time building all those models. And that day he got in there and he put them all in a box.
Almost like the microphone.
And he fell. Broke every single one of them. Oh man. Ever since then, it was like. It's still my favorite nephew.
Nephew.
Well, let me look like him.
All right, Theo, thank you.
My uncle would always hook him on my tail. He'd hook Ed up all the time. One time, Ed got these 2 BB rifles. And I hurt the nose. I was young, and anything my brother did, I wanted to do. So I said, he'd shoot these BB rifles. I said, let me do it. No. You know, I haven't used that. Every time, whatever he did, no, I don't want to play with you. All right. So one day, he gave me one of these rifles. I was like, what's happening here, you know? And I was so happy, you know, he wants to play with these. Give me a rifle. So I get this rifle and I cock it and I shoot it and it barely makes it to the end of the barrel and just falls down. He gave me a broken rifle. But I wasn't mad. I said, hey, I can work with this. So it gets to the end of the barrel and I just fling it. I was getting good because I could get targets too, man.
Talk about 1, 2, 3, draw.
Yeah. I'm like, thanks, bro.
That's a professional one.
I go over to his house several times a year. He's almost 400 miles away, and we like to keep it that way. So yeah, you know, it works out pretty good for us. But no, I mean, I love going down there to see the family. Yvette treats me like family, or dirt. No, she always takes me in, hey, for worse, not good or worse, just worse.
Yeah, this is the Martin deportation program.
But no, I love going down there, and that people came from a great distance. We got somebody here from Hawaii, you know, which surprised me to see him here. Ed's in-laws, and from many other areas, Phoenix,
From Santa Fe
and
Springs.
also from across the street. But I'm really happy to see everybody here enjoying this moment with them. And happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
And I think my mom wants to add a little to this too. Where's she at?
Yeah, come on here, Mom.
She actually gets around better than him.
Come on, Mom. No, Mom. Hey, all you have to do is say, I love you. I don't care what happened in the past. I love you now.
Here she comes. You know, she's checking her hair.
She's ready to roast us.
Making sure her nails are all right.
Oh, come on, get over it.
Now, what is it you want me to say?
Chenga the diaper.
Then I'm your favorite.
Just lie like you usually do.
And they're all.
Leave it change.
Birthday comes
Wait a
to the
minute.
next one.
When you say that, you gotta put it to your.
When the birthday comes to the next one, it will be my favorite. Right now, you are.
I'm pretty sure you got more to say.
Next to you.
Mom, you can call him your favorite right now, but you're gonna have to switch it back to me after this is all done.
Happy birthday, Nico.
Race, 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 race.
So is anybody else brave enough, or oh, this one looks dangerous.
Hold on, we got a cousin up here.
Oh,
We got a cousin. He's ready to say something.
And we got one back here hiding in the corner.
Yeah, Rick will say something. That's your problem. He will say something.
Yeah, he had a good one. I like him.
I want to tell you happy birthday before you get mad at me, because after I get done, I don't know about that. I remember our adventures when we were growing up. The surfer. Remember that? Remember when you wanted to be Mr. Speed Racer and you were, and I remember when we were growing up, your mom and dad would say, we're going to the beach, and we're all like, yes, pile up in the Volkswagen! Remember, we looked like sardines. Remember that?
Back in the day.
Yes. And then you were doing for a while you were doing the sea-doos.
Yep.
Remember that?
They were more like C-don'ts.
And we had so much fun growing up. We were very, very close family. Very loving.
We still are.
It was ordered by the judge.
We split up because some of us went to Arizona, some of us went to Hawaii, some of us went everywhere. But which way but loose?
I'll still lose.
And easy. We noticed.
Yeah, I noticed.
Much like your bowels, you are still loose.
Thank you.
Your hair grew in, got short. Yeah. You actually look pretty hot, now you can back it up. Come on, show us how you back it up. Back it up, back it up. Back it up, good.
No.
Come on, show us a little break dancing you were doing. Come on, music.
No.
Let's do some break dancing. Come on, music.
He's gonna break something.
He did.
They broke a hip.
Hey,
Christy's coming out.
hold on.
Christy's coming out.
Hey, I wanted to play something from the time when he was born, but since it was only static, we couldn't get that on recording. You know, I was hearing that Dr. Watson was being called from the phone back then. You know, Dr. Watson, come here. I need you. But thanks for all the fun you gave me. You know, you took me on the sea, you threw me in the water.
Montalvo, not Watson.
Moses. See the difference in age? I look a lot better.
Yeah, my sister, Christy, this is a wonder because she didn't get up on the last roast we had.
Yeah,
so it's amazing.
It was. She was afraid because she knew too much about me.
She knows a lot more about Angela.
And her new jacket she got from Clothes Time. You all are laughing. I know you're all because you remember that.
Two things that I was remembering when I think of it, and some of the things that come to mind was
That's perfect.
when Ed moved out and had his own apartment, and I remember he used to call me and let me come over to swim in his pool. So he would come pick me up in his red truck, you know, the one with the piglet and the
The Will Wet Plus.
that nobody could touch. And he would, I don't know if anybody knew this, but he is like an awesome singer. Nobody could sing. Nobody could sing those high notes of Lisa Nicole Jams. I'm all cried out over you. Nobody in the car. He just and those high notes. I swear I'm going. He's a soprano, definitely.
That's because he was wearing RC's pants.
We're gonna find this on right now.
And the other thing that my mom will remember this story. When I was in like the 10th grade, I got my first, I decided to get this layered haircut. I don't know what came over me. And, you guys don't realize how compassionate he is. He's very compassionate because yeah, it's a real good story. So I had this haircut, and I was so embarrassed to go to school. It was, you know, it was time for me to go in the morning, and I'm crying to my mom because I look like an old lady. I chose this haircut. I don't know what I was thinking.
You guys
So
matched.
I'm crying and crying. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. My mom's like, you look fine. You look fine. And so Ed's on his way to work, and he's passing by the living room, and he's like, what you crying about? And my mom's like, Ed, she's saying that, you know, her hair looks terrible. And she doesn't want to go to school. Tell her how she looks. He goes, he takes a look at me and goes, just go to school anyway.
Can you feel the love?
Happy birthday.
We're tackle dancers.
Don't bring another hit.
You know what? I got even a better story. Christy, being one of the youngest and the youngest of the girls, oh my God, that girl was spoiled. You know, I tell you, what we got when we were growing up is a whole lot. Man, oh my God. We would have to walk to school. No biggie, because it's just down the street, right? So she didn't want to at times. She would call for us to pick her up, you know. And here's the house. The schools were right down the street, and she didn't want to walk that. So one day, she's calling the house, but she she doesn't have any money on her, so she's calling the operator to do a collect call to pick her up. At the time, Ed was an operator. So, this might not be good for the noise. He gets this call and he notices the number on his screen. And so when she calls, she's saying, yes, I'd like to make a collect call to such and such number. And it started off, because he recognized the voice, you slut, you whore, you... Excuse me? She didn't even realize he was an operator. Hey, when that teacher's arrived, man, that girl was spoiled. I'm sorry.
I can remember growing up, all I remember is when one Halloween, I needed a Halloween costume, and it was so nice of Ed to loan me his child-sized Orko costume that he was wearing. We had to fight him out of it, but I wore it to school. It was all torn. But, you know, thanks for the hand-me-down. The girls gave me better.
I got somebody that wants to come up and say something on his behalf.
Hello.
Simon says.
All right, so my cousin, we're cousins.
Get closer to him.
To him.
I'm not gonna roast you too bad.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Mike. I'm gonna share a couple of memories. I used to think Ed was like the coolest dude when I was a kid.
Now you know better.
Yeah, exactly. Now I know better. But I remember we'd be at Auntie Marie and Uncle Ray's house, and Ed would roll up in these clean little mini trucks, right? Like the little Nissans. I mean, they really look like kid trucks. They're so small, you know. But he had sounds in them, and he'd jump out in a fresh little white T-shirt rolling up. Sup, I'm Ed. Looking for the man, you know.
Once again, compensating.
He was clean though. Rolled through Commerce with the little mini truck. Nice. He was always cool. He was like a cool older cousin. He would let us like take little rides. Took us to the house. He had all these video games and everything. You know, everything was cool.
What's my layaway?
Took us to Hooters when we went out to Arizona. Well, that's cool. You know.
Great place to take a 5-year-old.
You know.
It's a kill now.
But yeah, always good memories. I always thought he was the coolest guy. Always cool, and but, you know, and 50's not that bad. 50, come on, honestly, that's any 85-year-old. 50.
What are you saying?
There's ups, you know, to turning 50. I mean, you know, you get great parking now.
You get cheaper coffee.
That's called VIP.
You used to break speed limits. Now you're one of the higher speed limits.
You can get McDonald's coffees for cheaper.
And true story, I'm not making this up. True story. I can't write this stuff. On my way over here, I was filling out his birthday card, and it dawned on me that you're turning 50 and you can't spell your name without ED.
You know how to have
But to his credit,
kids that have ADD.
Great golfer. You can do the commercials now.
CJ, slap you.
You gotta share the thing.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna leave you with this little gem because I know you'll appreciate it. You're a golfer. You might want to cover up some of the ears in the room.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Martha.
There's a professor. He's teaching a class in involuntary muscle contractions at a university. Not a very interesting topic. So he figures to try and get the class's attention, he's going to start off with a joke. And so he picks a girl in the front row, and he says, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you know what your a-hole is doing while you're having an orgasm?" And she says, "He's probably out golfing with his buddies."
What he just heard this week.
You can't write that stuff.
You cannot.
So is there anybody that wants to add to this? I do want to bring one last person up. Is there anybody that wants to come up here prior?
Hey, Jay, come up here. Hold on. Jay, come here.
Jay,
you said you had something, but you
Jay, Jose.
Jose, whatever you want to call him. That jerk, whatever.
Howdy y'all, how y'all doing? For those of you that don't know me, I'm Alita's fiance.
Who? Exactly.
Just gonna say hi. I'll give you guys a little background on me for a little bit, just for a brief second so y'all know where I'm coming from. In 2009, I graduated from Arizona State University with a bachelor's degree in U.S. history. Fortunately, I was learning about something I'm very passionate about. Ed just happened to be there at the start of this country. I would constantly remember going through my books, studying late at night, wondering how it is that I see him in every single picture throughout history.
The science declaration.
When you think about the things he's lived through in this...
Adonis.
When you think about the things that he's lived through and what he's seen, some of the most horrific and amazing things in this country have happened, truly. Truly, think about it. Okay, he saw everything that's happened over the last 50 years. Now, in the last 50 years, we've had advancements in electricity, advancements in cars, we've had advancements in Viagra.
His favorite topic.
We've had some amazing things happen out here. I mean, how angry were you when Cracker Jacks stopped putting decoder rings in their boxes?
It was rough.
And when Matchbox stopped putting their toys in matchboxes, how much did you cry? And who can forget the almighty pay hike for a ticket to a baseball game that went from a nickel to 25 cents? But I think the thing that I most envy you for, and this is not a joke, I truly do envy him for this. He saw the start of the NFL before it was even a sport. He's seen it all. He's had a great life. But here's something that I'm not making fun of him for, I promise. He's 50. It's the start of a whole new life for most people. Most people, you turn 49, you think you're going over the hill. Well, once you reach the top of the hill, it's cruising right on down, right?
Yep.
You got that sand buggy, you got a Sea-Doo.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't got your Sea-Doo no more. You got your airplanes, you got a bunch of toys. I just want to know if you're 50 or 5.
You add them together.
Okay, I mean, you're back in diapers. And everybody's here to help you out.
We're back in. You didn't get out.
And I don't really know all that much else other than history. I really don't know a whole lot about anything, to be honest. But I do know this, that this family is amazing. This family welcomes people. This family does not intimidate people. This has got to be the first time I've ever dated a girl and has not been threatened to have my throat stepped on, my head kicked in.
Some of the girls will do that later.
We're saving up for the wedding. That's the wedding speeches.
But I'm extremely grateful to be here. And I'm extremely grateful to be around everybody. And the fact that y'all have done 2 roasts in 1 year tells me that this is exactly where I belong.
You're next.
So thank y'all for letting me come up here. Happy birthday, Ed. I hope you have a wonderful another 50 years.
Is that a threat or a promise? What was the name again?
We'll forget it. Okay, so since nobody else is coming up, I want to end this with one person, and that's Marie.
Yeah.
Any other Maries? Excuse me?
Yeah. Marie, or anything like that.
I know you got something to say. This is my other mom right here. She takes care of me anytime I'm in Phoenix. So if I leave here and I don't got a mom, I got one over there in Phoenix.
Well, I don't have anything negative to say about Ed.
Oh, look it up because she's holding back.
Yeah, my husband would always say, when Ed married Yvette, we hit the lotto. And that's what we truly believe.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, a lot of it, 50 cents.
$10!
They're cashing that one in and trying to return it back.
You know, a funny story. When Ed and Yvette got married, they had a day after that they were looking at all the gifts, and my uncle was almost his age right now, and he writes on the gift to Fernando and Yvette. And I don't know how that came, and he's looking at what happened? But you know, it is a great life. We have a great family, and even an extended family. We're so lucky because the people that the paths we cross have been great. And thank you all.
And you know what? I'm also going to say something about one thing here. Oh, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, you're up here now. No, you stepped in front of the crowd. You're right in front of the bus now. Don't let it hit you, let it hit him.
Okay. Well, I don't even know where to start, so...
Hold the mic up a little higher, though. That'll work.
Is this thing on?
It is now.
Okay. Higher. I started in a strange situation where I met Ed at a place called Golf and Stuff, believe it or not. So, I don't know, somebody was talking about the dittos thing. That just totally scarred me from the past. You know, I used to think about how girls looked in dittos jeans, and then once that story got told So, they're talking about timelines and things like that, and I'm not quite sure. And I started doing the math. I was probably 17 years old, maybe, when I met Ed, and maybe 18.
You don't have a line to kick it.
And golf and stuff. And so I'm thinking, wait, he was 21, hanging out at Golf and Stuff. So, but anyway, and then I started thinking, we spent a lot of time together. And when I saw this little walker here with all the lights and things on it, do you remember how you wired your Mustang with all your switches? If you saw his face would light up. He'd fire up his car, And he would look at me with those eyes. And, no, he didn't have the dittos, my God. I probably would have went that way. So anyway, he hit the switches and that turned on all his lights. And now, I'm thinking of his little black Mustang. And now he has a little aluminum walker. So, he's got his buttons. He took me for the first time ever snow skiing. We went snow skiing.
More like snow falling?
Yeah, it was horrible. The first time I ever went snowboarding was with him, and I thought, this is bad. It's a good thing I was only maybe 19 or 20 years old, because by the time I fell down however many times, it probably worked out too well. So, but one of the things I remember that he introduced me to was a friend of his named Bach. So, you got to understand that I've never come across an individual that you looked at him, he was completely Asian. Okay? But his name was Bach, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and when he would speak, he had this complete British accent. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. And I don't know to this day where Bach is or what he's up to. But that was one of the things that would always stick in my mind. Tom. I would have never met Tom if it weren't for Ed. And I have not seen Tom in 25 years.
Should be thankful for that.
Just so you know, he looks just as good as he did 25 years ago.
Same hairline.
Actually, it's better. He's actually accepted it. So, but all in all, Ed was there probably through some of the best times of my life, and I appreciate it, and I think back in my life, and I can't help but think about Ed. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's my brother-in-law Dave. He wants to come up.
Give it up for Dave! Give it up for Dave! Come on, Dave! Give it up for Dave!
He's got the most dirt.
All right, Dave, give it up.
Okay, well, let's see. I've known this family for, oh God, such a lot of time. But sometimes I think they think I'm adopted.
Sometimes we wish we were.
When I was first going out with Susanna, and she introduced me to Ed. Ed came up and gave me a really big hug and stuck his leg up. And I'm going to Susanna saying, and so I'm thinking, is this a normal thing for them to do? So I put my leg up, so now every time we greet each other, we always have our leg up. So I don't know, it must be
the cloud that arises is amazing.
So, you know, but...
What do you expect when you put two dogs together?
But the thing I remember, though, is that we would all go out, do something, and I remember one time we went out to the mountains to go with the snow, and Channel 5 News happened to be there, and they recorded us. So we had the whole Martin clan
on a train of tubes and snowboards or on the sleds and toboggans and stuff, and we all chained ourselves together.
Quit lying, we can't afford that.
That was when Ed first got his snowboard, and he wanted to try out the snowboard in front of that. So we all start going down. Ed cuts across us, ends up falling over. We're still rolling over, and we end up hitting a ditch and rolling off onto the at the end of the trail. And that was our 15 minutes of fame with Channel 5 News. You know, so we had a rough and tumble team.
News at 11. Train wreck.
But you know, I was thinking that, you know, Ed's actually he should be pretty excited now about, you know, turning 50. For one, you know, he gets to order not from the kids menu, but now he gets to order into the senior menu. You know? And when he, you know, now he gets to go and without any real thought that. And he'll be okay if he goes and pinches the waiter's butt. I meant waitress.
And all 1 week apart from each other.
But no, it's you know, this family has been very great, and I've always been blessed with being part of it. And I just wanted to say happy birthday to Ed. Yeah.
Who's they coming up first?
Both of you should be holding on to that walker.
Oh, you know, yeah, he's been in the family so long. Him and Suzanne, my sister, have been going out with each other like 15, 16 years, and everybody got married by the same priest. And being Catholic, very conservative. When they went up to the altar and the priest is saying the mass, and he says, Fernando, there I go.
Yeah.
Dave and Suzanne. Finally. He actually said that. It's not even like, the only reason he said that is because he knew all of us growing up. We did youth groups and everything with him. He taught us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And he knew them from the beginning of time. And, so he's been a great addition. And another funny thing, I had this little teeny bicycle. It was like this big. It's one of those razor, you know, like the kind you see at a circus. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but he looked like a big bear that they pulled out and he's riding this thing.
I rode it though.
Yeah, you can hear that on the TV. Roll.
David, turn around. You can still see the wheels.
They're getting it wedged out.
Surgically removed.
Yeah. Now, and you've been married to Yvette for over 20 years, right? How many years is it?
22.
22 years. How do you do it, Yvette? Seriously, because we were just waiting for him to get out of the house. You finally you made our dreams come true. But we love you.
He said,
yeah, that's right. Don't fight the power, because you're going to have to keep him.
If nobody else is going to come up, we're going to end this with...
Our DJ got something to say.
What? The DJ, I'm not a DJ. No. Hey, I remember one time in Bandcamp. I mean, everybody's talking about mountains and everything. I don't know what's going on out there in the mountains. I never been to no mountains, I tell you that. I never been to no mountains with Edward, but I know Edward's he's a good guy.
Remember this summer, we did go.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, we did. She caught me.
Why you gotta hit me?
Twice.
I'm going to take you down, boy.
He's still old, but he remembers. No, I just want to say happy birthday. I came from Phoenix. I wouldn't miss us for anything. So, thank you guys, and happy birthday to everyone again, you guys.
And here we go. But as any roast goes on, does anyone else have anything else to say? If I show of hands, I see no.
Welcome to the old party.
All right, here, let's get this picture here. Put a quarter in it.
Yeah, here we go.
You're the only one with a digital camera that still has to whine. Alright, now with any roast, as it goes, always we have our chance to say something, but the last person who gets to say something is the person who's being roasted. Now, I'm going to go hide while he says whatever he has to say. Alright, Ed? This mic is yours.
That was easy.
All right. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Now, seriously, I just want to say I really appreciate everybody coming out and joining with me and, you know, just celebrating the day for me.
We love you.
It shows who I have. I chose well, friends, family. Well, family not so well. Friends, mediocre. Kids. Anyways, I had no choice on that. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, I am really happy that everybody came. I can't say enough. I love you. And I won't say anything bad because it's going to come back at me. But I had a good time. There's going to be, I think we're going to have some music and playing some dancing. Yeah.
There's still another 50 years.
Yeah, we're playing the 50s.
Hey, give me my mask.
Oh, I'd like, before anybody leaves, I'd like to get a picture with everybody. All right. Hey, that's not the...
He likes the makeup. And all I'm going to say right now is, you're dressed like this, you may as well say something negative.
I really do appreciate everybody here. I hope you had fun.
He's sporting a package.
We're going to start some music.
Back of the diaper.
Sure, watch out with the walker.
Oh yeah, and he's got to walk out with the walker greeting everybody.
Yeah.
Turn on your headlight, make sure you use your signals.
All right. Once again, we're thanking everyone for coming out, sharing your stories, anything that you had,
your company.
Make sure you come on. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Not too hard, but you can still grab it. Give it to him. All right. Thanks again to everyone for coming out. This was a great night. We're going to get this thing started with the dancing now. Y'all going to have some fun tonight. I'm CeeLo, this is Fernando, and that was a memory.
He used to test all his stereos to this.